A BLEVE is one of the coolest and most terrifying types of explosions to watch. BLEVE stands for Boiling Liquid Expanding Vapor Explosion, and it occurs when a sealed container of liquid bursts, when the liquid inside is significantly beyond its atmospheric boiling point. The increasing pressure maintains the liquid's state as the temperature increases, but once ruptured, the contents flash to gas, sometimes fast enough to technically be classified as an explosion all by itself. If the gas is flammable, the initial explosion can lull people into a false sense of security because once the expanding vapor reaches the proper fuel-air mixture, a massive deflagration occurs, typically creating a fireball 5 to 10 times larger than the initial explosion. Now, a BLEVE is still a BLEVE whether the liquid is flammable or not, and can even occur when the liquid is water. The most common sources of BLEVE are natural gas and propane containers, but underground gasoline reservoirs at gas stations can cause them as well. There are three key elements that create a BLEVE. First, you need a liquid, preferably flammable, that is well above its atmospheric boiling point. Then, you need it in a vessel that contains this pressure, forcing the liquid to stay a liquid. Then you need a sudden loss of containment that drops the pressure catastrophically. Propane, for example, is already being stored above its boiling point in a liquid form, even at room temperature. The vaporization of the liquid in a BLEVE typically occurs in about a millisecond. The typical dangers of a BLEVE are the initial blast, shrapnel, and the fireball, but when a cylindrical tank ruptures, it can sometimes turn itself into quite the long-range projectile. During the Fizene disaster, a series of explosions that took place at a French refinery in 1966, 3 pieces of shrapnel weighing over 100 tons each were propelled, with one of them being sent over 350 meters. During the San Juanico disaster in 1984, a cylindrical tank flew 1,200 meters before landing. That's 3/4 of a mile. In the case of the refinery disaster, there was also a domino effect, BLEVE causing BLEVE by damaging adjacent tanks. At San Juanico, the fireball burned people 400 meters away and lasted for a full 20 seconds. The first recorded BLEVE took place in France in 1926 when a chlorine tank burst, killing 19. You can really see the difference in casualties for poisonous gas versus explosives ones. In 1939, an explosive liquid, 60 people killed. In 1943, a chlorine tank killed 57, and another explosion at that exact same plant but a diethyl ether tank killed 209.
A half mile from the flames.
The fire is making a sound like a jet liner taking off. Something apparently blew up just a couple of minutes ago and started this big roar of flames and the sound of a jet liner.
What the news crew doesn't know is that the noise they are hearing is a warning of an impending BLEVE. Moments after the reporter signs off, 30,000 gallons of boiling propane push the tank's metal walls to the breaking point.
Okay, get a tape on. Leave it up.
The news crew feels the heat wave from the blast. In this blast, rockets nearly 3/4 of a mile into a field.
At the Murdoch explosion, the propane car, that BLEVE, set a record and traveled 3,640 feet.